brother Isaiah Haynes.
What's good, man?
You there?
Chillin',
I'm
man.
good,
Chillin',
It's
chillin'.
good to have you on the
What's
show.
good? Hey, I'm glad to be here, man.
You know,
Glad to be
definitely
here.
been a journey, man. Let's go ahead and delve right into it. This new album that you got pumping, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm loving the case and everything, bro. How you put it down. So,
Thanks.
I mean, let's get into the music. What got you into music? Period. Like, what's your short story on that?
Man, I make it real short and simple. Just family, man. I ain't really have a choice. Yeah, I ain't really have a choice. My whole family's involved in music, man. Especially on my mom's side, man.
Okay.
I had a great granddaddy. Every time you came in front of him, you had to sing or do something, man. So he did his grandkids like that. He did his kids like that, and it just went on down the line. So I didn't really have a choice, man. It is what it is.
That's a good idea. I might have to do my son like
Yeah,
that.
man.
Sing, boy.
Yeah, you come up like that with all this music around you, man. It kind of lets you know I got a musical family. You know what I mean? So my siblings sing, my parents, my uncles, aunts, cousins.
Okay.
Everybody sings, man. So,
musical family.
Musical family.
That's good.
Got a
If
little
it runs in
choir
the family.
within ourselves. Yep, got a choir.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So this album, when did it come out? Like what went into producing this album?
You know, I hooked up with a guy named Noble Productions, man, and you know, we just kind of sat down and brainstormed. I bought my ideas, my concepts. I bought stuff that I had already previously written. I bought that stuff to him, and then we just went from there, man. You know, it's like I said earlier, it's awesome when you can, you bring your stuff to somebody, and they can kind of make music right around what you already have, man. So, you know, I had been looking for that. I don't want nobody to just give me a track, you know what I mean? I'm looking for a real producer, you know?
Album dropped in January?
Yeah, the end of January, around January 25th, man. I wanted to drop it a little earlier than that, but, you know, I had to tie up some loose strings and stuff, so.
It's all on time, right on time?
Yeah, it came right on time.
How long did you work on it?
I'd say about 8 months, 9 months.
So what does this album say? You know what I'm saying? What's your overall message in this one?
Well, it's called Personal, man, and so it's talking about a personal relationship with God. Not only just within just having externally having a personal relationship, but it also outlines my personal relationship with God. You know what I mean? My own stories, you know, are in the songs. You know, some of the things I went through. Some of the things that caused me to get intimate, you know what I mean, with God, so on and so forth. So try to write from my heart, man. I don't just try to write just based on, let me just write something that sounds good. I try to write what I actually deal with and what I go through. And so it's my personal relationship with God, the things I went through, what encouraged me to get in a relationship with God, and also to encourage others to get in a personal relationship with God. So I just call it simply personal. You know?
Personal. So you kind of sit down and not only tell the people that you should have a personal relationship with God, but kind of give them examples on how you do it.
Yep.
That's good
Examples
stuff,
on how I do it and what brought me to that, because I hadn't always been like that, you know what I mean? So things that brought me into personal relationship with God.
That's cool stuff. Let me ask you this question, man, not to get too far off of it. Well, let me even bring it here. If you could put your message into the form of a question, what would be your question?
Shoot, man. If I could put my message in the form of a question, I would simply, do you know him?
What's your favorite song on the album?
Man, I had to say In the Wilderness and For the Worshipers, man. It's like, man, you know, of course I love all of them, in my babies, you know what I mean? So, but In the Wilderness and For the Worshipers. For the Worshipers is a single that I've been pushing for the past month or so, yeah.
All right. Out here in ATL,
yeah, man, in ATL, man, you know, I'm loving it, man. It is what it is. I love, you know, I love it.
From Charlotte, right?
Yeah, from Charlotte, North Carolina, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Been out here for what?
About 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah. Got out the military 2005, and I was at Fort Benning, Georgia, which is in Columbus. Then I was like, man, I need to do music, man. And it was like, ATL is right there. It's like 2 hours away. So I came down here, man, and been here since then.
If you feel like walking on the ocean floor, you know, go ahead. If you want to keep it on the surface, then do it how you wish.
Okay.
But to you, to Isaiah, what time is it?
I think the time is now, based on my belief system, and what I teach and what I preach and things like that. I think it's time to get serious, man, about, I'm speaking to Christians, man, so-called Christians. I think it's time to get serious about who we say that we are and what we say we represent, you know what I mean? you go to churches, man, you kind of getting the same old thing, man. I've been to plenty of churches. I used to preach at churches. I was a minister, ordained minister, you know what I mean?
All right.
And, you know, I think it's time, you know, I don't know if you've been following Barack Obama and stuff like that, but he's saying it's time for change. And I believe that within in the spiritual aspect or religious aspect, it's time for change, man. It really is. You know, being 2008, this is, you know, 8 really represents new beginnings.
Right.
And being 2008 is the new beginning. It's time to step into the new and get out the old and step into the new, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I believe that. You know,
That's
time
real
for change, man. Time to do things
Time for
differently.
change.
We've been doing things the same, you know, traditionally, religiously. You know what I mean? It's time to be a little different, man. Step out the box, man. And I believe that's what God wants.
So real quick,
That's
before
hot.
we get
That's
back to
hot.
Isaiah Haynes,
That's hot, bro.
take this to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go into this video real quick. See it in action. You dig?
That's what's up, man.
You're my everything, the joy you bring, take control of my soul. Your love is real, it's real to me. King of kings, you are Lord of lords, and no one else. You're the source of all my strength, your power divine. Lord, I love you, yeah. Lord, I need you. No one can hold me, no one can mold me like you do. I need you to guide me, yeah. Walk right beside me. No one can please me, no one has freed me like you do. Like you do, like you do. Alpha, Omega, my healer and my shelter. Your name is high, high above every name. Oh, yeah. Never changing, amazing, omnipotent, creator, the reason why I sing. Lord, I love you, yeah. I need you. No one can hold me, no one can mold me like you do. Come on and guide me, yeah. Walk right beside me.